I'm going to try to show you how to make a podcast using a free service called Talkshoe. I'm not sure how this will work because sometimes the links are a bit slow, but we're going to give it a try. Now, when you first log into Talkshoe.com, you'll need to sign up for an account. Normally, you would see the sign up button right here, but I've already signed up, so now you're seeing my page as it appears when I log in. Once you're logged in, it sometimes is a little confusing about where to start, so I'm going to demonstrate that. What we want to do is create a new podcast, so I'm going to say start a call. Okay, and it takes me into a list of any podcasts I've already created. So I could either add to an old podcast series or I can create a new call series. So I'll click on that. And now I need to make a new series. So I'm going to call this CSE 627 Podcast Series. And I'm going to make this unlisted because I'm not ready to be sharing with the public yet. I'm going to go ahead and set my recording to automatic because that way it just records whatever I call in. And I want to go to the advanced options for a minute. So I could give my podcast a description if I want. I won't do that, but I will say that it's going to be an educational podcast. And I'm rating it A for all users. I'm going to set the default duration at 15 minutes. It's just a short one. I'm going to have the phone unmuted so that you can hear, and I'm going to block any other participants from joining the conversation at this point. You could let other people in, but for creating podcasts, you probably don't want to do that. So now I'll click Start Now. And here is my podcast series. This is what I'll find on my homepage whenever I go to this. And this is the link that I would give to other people if I want them to come to my podcast so that they can subscribe to it. Okay, so I'm going to start my call by clicking on this purple button. And it brings me into my live page. It'll take a moment to load. There we go. So I could have participants, if they were coming, adding little chat messages at the bottom, but we're just going to be recording right now. So I use the information down at the bottom to call in. I'm using my cell phone so that I can have a free phone call. And I'm just going to dial in 724-444-7444. Okay, so we need to wait for that to ring through. Okay, so I need to enter the call ID. So I'm going to enter 70483 and the pound sign.
You are now joining the call.
Okay, I think you probably noticed that this changed up to call is being recorded. Welcome to my podcast demonstration. We're testing out a Talkshoe today, a free calling service that allows us to make phone calls and record them. Once recorded, my friends can subscribe and listen to all of my updates. Okay, so when I'm finished, I'm going to click on End. And now the recording's completed, so I can end my phone call. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to close the window here. And my phone call is going to show up at the bottom of this screen, but it takes a few moments for that to show up. Okay, so I just refreshed the screen and we can see now that I have a podcast down at the bottom. So let's just subscribe to this. I click on the subscribe button and it's going to take me to a page that allows me to subscribe using my Google Reader. Okay, so now I can choose to add it to Google. And I'm going to say, please add this to Google Reader. And there I am back in my Google Reader, and here is my podcast. When I click on it,
Recorded live. Being recorded. podcast demonstration. We're testing out a Talkshoe today, a free calling service that allows us to make phone calls and record them. Once recorded, my friends can...
So that's all there is to it. You can record your podcast and you can send out the link to all of your friends and they can subscribe. Each time you add a new podcast to this, a new episode to this podcast, they'll receive a copy of it in their Google Reader or wherever they've subscribed to it.